one. Hello, everyone. So this is Hunter Salazar. This is a conversation for my YouTube channel, and this is a conversation with somebody that I know fairly well, a friend in India, and he has some questions for me on certain demons and Satan in general, and just an area of black magic that a lot of people don't discuss. A lot of misunderstanding is cast around this area of spirituality that we call the left hand path. So go ahead and start and tell me your first question, my friend.
So I'm Samar and I'm from India. So my first question is about the demons. Um, how do you see demons? How do you actually see them? Why you're standing against them, and what's are your point of view on the demons and the and Lucifer, the king of demons?
When it comes to demons, it's it's not as hard to actually see them as most people think. You can burn. It's not even about a certain kind of incense. You can burn many kinds of incense, and if you have the right sigil and if you have the right intention, these are the two key aspects. So you have the right sigil. The sigil is basically the name. It basically locates and it's like a number that you're calling. You're calling that demon through that sigil that is associated
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
It's like calling their name. So you call them through that, and you have the intention of talking to them based on something that they're affiliated with. If they can help you in a particular part of your life that
Yeah.
you actually want help in, then those two things are vital because you have to be able to talk to them based on what they can actually do. Now, the higher demonic kings, the demonic princes like Belial, Paimon, Azazel,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of things that they can do. So you're going to have more free reign. But if you're talking about lower demons, it has to be very specific to what they can do regarding physical protection. Sometimes it's cursing somebody else. Sometimes it's even healing yourself. Demons can also be healers. But regardless of what it is, you have to be aware of what the sigil is. You have to be aware of why you're contacting them and what you're willing to give. Because if you're not willing to give something, they will not work with you. They are beings that are based upon um, getting something back from you. They will give to you, but they have to have something back that is
um
equal, if not more value.
but this universe works on this, like everybody gives something to other person and the other person give it back to you, like this is the rule of this universe, that for I know, then I was following the path of universe. So like my masters told me, like this is the rule of, this is how the universe work, like everybody give something to each other, like we serve each other, like if I do something for you, then you're gonna give something to me, like they're like doing the same thing, they're following the same thing, like which we all follow. So like why and they are doing our work and in a more quicker manner, and I like accept, like they want some heavy offerings, that the angels would do the work for like not free, but they also want some kind of offerings, because I've already worked with the angels, like all the Archangel Michael and Raphael. I've worked with them, sigil magic, all the stuff. But like they tell me to give me an offering so that they will be doing the work. But in the case of demons, like I have to give some big offerings, but but they do the work more quicker than Archangel. But that's the thing is same with the both of the entities,
I have
but
to say, with the general idea of angels and demons, they're not as far apart when it comes to what you have to give as most people think. That I kind of operate in a gray area, but here's where demons differ. Um, it has to do with their grander objective. Their grander objective is to establish the Infernal Empire, at least the higher demons. The lower demons are purely based on feeding on the energy that you put off when you gratify this or that. When you're dealing with higher demons like Belial, Paimon, and so forth. Um, now Zazel, you can even go into the abyss, Shrenabog, and different beings there, Astrael. But we're not going to talk about the abyss. They they are always focusing on establishing a rule here. Now you might say, okay, well, angels are doing the same thing. Don't they want to establish God's kingdom here? The thing about the angels is that and higher beings. I don't really work with angels that much, but the things about higher beings is that they kind of want to bring other people up to them, whereas everything lower than the material realm wants to bring the infernal empire up to this material plane. Now that affects many people. If the infernal empire is established here, which honestly I believe that eventually will be, but most people will be higher than the material plane at that point. Um, they are entirely focused on bringing the infernal empire up, and it has when it comes to mercy, when it comes to compassion, they give demons give no leeway. If you're dealing with higher beings, usually they'll be like, okay, I want to be more your father, I want to be your mother, I want to be your guide. And there are demonic guides, don't get me wrong, and there are higher demons who do want to act kind of like a father and mother, but it's completely steering you in a way that they're using you to intrude upon this realm, the material realm. When you're honestly, Satan and Lucifer are two different entities. Satan is honestly not as big of a player on the scale as Christians say. Christianity is obsessed with Satan and Satanism, but Satan is just another demonic prince. He's not any more than Abaddon, the Lord of the Bottomless Pit. He's not any more.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not any more than Belial. He's not any more than Paimon. He's one of the
He's one of the gatekeepers.
yeah. He's not.
That's what
Christians play it up as like he is the ruler of all the hells, but he's not. He is the eldest of their kind, but he's not. He's not the ruler. That's not how the hells work. That's not how the nine hells work. But when it comes to Lucifer, Lucifer is a projection of light. Lucifer is different in this fact that I do not think Lucifer exists in the same way as the demonic princes exist, because he's a projection of light that's still being cast out because light is still traveling out, but he's more of a projection than an entity with will. He is, and I'm not going to name the person whose video I saw this in because it is the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do in this world. I don't work with demons, and I don't want to go to war with certain people and entities that I will not name. But I can safely say that Lucifer is that which illuminates, but not that which is illuminated. He helps illuminate. He helps illuminate the purity. He allows the contrast to exist, but he is not the essence of what is illuminated, if that makes any sense. Whereas Satan is an entity in and of himself, not just a projection, not just a continuation of this certain amount of light. And let me tell you something about Lucifer as well. Lucifer is he will provide the light, but he does not care if you get burned. When you're dealing with higher angels and not Lucifer, you're dealing with ones who will only give you the amount of energy that your body can take. Lucifer will light up your spine. He will send all the energy that he has to everyone. And if your spine is not prepared, if your neurology is not prepared, if your mind is not prepared, you will burn up. You will become insane, and your spine might not literally like singe like when we think of something being burned, but your neurology will be destroyed and your mind will be destroyed, because he does not care if you are destroyed. He is giving all the light that he has to give, and if you're not ready to be illuminated, then you will be destroyed. So I mean, it's not about good or evil when it comes to Lucifer. It's about either you are prepared for everything or you are prepared for nothing. When it comes to Satan, I don't have a whole lot of respect when it comes to Satan, because he's way more minor than most people think. And when it comes to Satan, you can call him the Prince of Darkness. That's fine. You can call him, you can say that he is the adversary of the light. But there are many adversaries of the light. And when it comes to Satan, he is very focused on the opposite of Christianity. So he's very associated with Christianity. He's not associated with other paths like other demonic kings or other princes.
Yeah.
he's very associated with Christianity. So like I don't even really encounter, even though I'm opposite to demons and I work against demons, I don't even really encounter him because he's so associated with Christianity that we just don't cross paths. So I mean that's just my spiel on a few things, but you can go ahead and continue on with your questions. But go ahead. Do you have any questions from that?
Yeah. Like Satan is complete darkness, but the Lucifer is yeah, Satan is some kind of like Christian character, That's what I think. Like he's so much like thoughts of Christian like put together, and they have created this thought form like who is complete made up of darkness and complete chaos, like he's embodiment of chaos. I've already worked with Satan like in the first time when I've started, but like I don't feel comfortable with him because what I feel is like he's complete embodiment of darkness, but it is only created by the people because he doesn't existed because the Bible made him exist, because I don't know, because there was no Satan earlier, but a lot of people put their thoughts together and made this entity come into existence, and now
in
he's
occult terms, it's called egregora. Egregor. It means that something that exists through the belief in it. And I think that Christianity really established the belief in Satan, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's what I feel, and because the Christianity have created Satan himself, so like there's no debate on like whether he's real or not. He's just a thought form, and like when people will stop thinking about him, like he will be gone. Like there would be no Satan if like people stop thinking about him. But a lot of people are getting fooled by the Bible stories that Satan exists and stuff. He's constantly working on the like deceiving human mankind, and like that's what they made out of it, and like he's like completely, his mission is like that because the people have put their own thoughts from together, and this entity have really created who is actually working on deceiving mankind, like like I don't believe like Satan is in the path of the demons because like um what demons want is like they want to enlighten everybody, like the Lucifer have not sent me a lot of energy yet, why? Because I'm not already ready, and he has told me like as you said, like they are concerned on the materialistic world, but Lucifer have said me to work on my spiritual uh the
because
psychic.
there's no halfway with Lucifer. Either you take all of the light he has to give, or you take none of it. Because if you take all of it and you're not ready, he will make you insane. So he might give warnings to people. I don't know. I haven't worked with him. Especially I just know from what I've studied, and and I don't study the Bible and say, okay, this is what Lucifer is. I study the texts of people who work with Lucifer, who work with the demonic princes. I don't take what the Christian doctrine is and then say, okay, this is what Lucifer is, this is what Satan is. I study the texts of people who actually work with them. So I've studied the Satanic Bible, I've studied the Satanic rituals, and of course we have Anton LaVey's notebook that I've read some of. I haven't read all of it, but I study it from the people who work with these entities, and then that's where I get my knowledge. It's not, and then honestly, if I study these things and I still realize that this is not the path I want to go because I believe in uplifting humanity with mercy and compassion rather than whoever's ready and only the strong surviving. Because when it comes down to it with demons is that it's the law of the jungle. Um, Strength is good, might is right, and weakness is incorrect. So they're always based their actions based on might is right, and we find this in Hinduism quite a bit. When it comes to Ravana and the Asuras, it's always about might is right, the law of the jungle. And here's one thing that we see again and again in Hinduism is that if you live by the law of the jungle, you would die by the law of jungle. So the question for me is not, which one is good or bad or good or evil. It's how do we want to live, by the code of the material realm, or do we want to live by the code of a higher realm? That's and here's the thing. There's a lot of demonic princes that exist in the astral realm, but there's two sides to the astral realm. One side that is contained. The astral realm is like a circle. The bottom half is contained within a certain amount of you can say space, you can say realms, and then the top half is incredibly expansive. Paramahansa Yogananda said that the astral realm was actually bigger, 3 times bigger than all of the material universes. So when we think of bigger, we think that, okay, when we look out into space, it looks infinite, but it's actually not. It feeds into itself. It's more like a sphere that feeds into itself, and then that's how space continues. It's not that it's infinite in any one direction. And many scientists will say if you go in any one direction for long enough, you will come back to the same point you started at. Now, if it takes billions of light years, yeah, but you will come back to the point that you started at. It's because really space is spherical, and the material realms are spherical ultimately, but it takes quite a bit of traveling in order to come back to the point that you were. In the astral realm, everything is 3 times as big, and there's 3 times as much light variation. In the astral realm, there are colors in space that we do not find in the material, and
Yeah.
everything is more vast. There's more worlds. There's more intelligence in the worlds. There are many worlds in our galaxies just within this singular. Well, there's more worlds with life just in this singular galaxy that we exist in, the Milky Way, let alone the universe. But when we think about the multiverse, there are many material universes around us. And then when we get to the astral realm, there are many different astral universes around that. So
I
it's
believe
really
that the
hard.
astral world is like completely like so big that we cannot even travel it all, at the same time. But
We can
uh
barely imagine how many stars are in this galaxy. I mean, and there's billions of galaxies. I mean, there's over 100 billion stars in this one Milky Way galaxy. So I mean, everything is much bigger than any books. I mean, well, in Hinduism, there's a lot of information about how big everything is, but in every other tradition, it's like, oh, this is the world, of
yeah.
this Earth. But there's so much more. There's just so much more. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so like that's the truth. Like if you're not ready for the power, it's definitely gonna burn up your spine, But when you came to the spot, because I'm already so like I can tell you what it is. When you came to the spot, what's gonna happen is like they're gonna prepare you to like handle all the power, But they're not going to prepare you for the materialistic things, because now the main concerns of the demons, because I closely work with them, so like I know the what they want to enlighten and like like make everybody spiritual, so they like don't know, like they're able to commune with the spirits, and like they are able to take control on their life. They want to make everybody powerful who are on their path, they want to they don't want to slave, they don't want to like give everybody everything they want, if you like sell your soul, you're not going to have everything. Like the people are going to say, oh man, you're going to sell your soul and you're going to have everything in the world, but that's not the truth, because I already know, like there are a lot of people who are around me and they've sold their soul, but they didn't got any kind of shit, but what they got is powers, the spiritual powers, and like and now like if they want, they can have all the kind of things they want. They can have the money because they have so much power to manifest the money in their own life, but that's on their own. But they don't even want so much money after like getting the powers, after like getting the truth, the demons sell the truth about universe, the demons sell the truth about like everything that you want to know. If you ask them anything, that they're going to be super honest to you, like they know that they
Here's
are.
let me say one thing. There is one criticism of the left hand path that is actually, this statement is not said by me. This is somebody who travels left hand path to an extent that neither one of us can imagine. He said that the biggest truthful criticism of the left hand path is that it will give you power that you are not ready for. And this is after that statement. This is my conjecture. If you're not ready for that power that you get, then it literally can it can destroy your ego. It can make you into a completely different person. And well, I don't even say it might, it can destroy your sanity. It will destroy your sanity. So you have to, in the left-hand path, you have to be ready for what you're bargaining for. And 99% of people on the left-hand path are not ready for the power that is thrown at them. So this is why insanity can be prevalent. Now that insanity is prevalent in the right-hand path too, and I don't consider myself right-hand path. I'm definitely not left-hand path, but I consider myself in the middle, but very favorable towards humanity and preserving this world for as much as possible. And I fight against the Infernal Empire being established here for as long as I can before I move on from this realm. So that's my point of view. But go ahead.